1, 2. Check 1, 1, 2, 3. Ah, can everybody hear me now? Huh. That is the strangest thing. That is the strangest thing. It said my microphone volume was turned down all the way low. Weird. I apologize if no one could hear me for that brief moment. Anyways, welcome to the Bryce Boudreaux Show. My name is Bryce Boudreaux, and this is my show. Um, Lots of stuff to get into tonight. It's going to be a very busy night as it's another late Thursday night. I like doing these late Thursday nights, 10 p.m. start time. I like that. I like that. Rachel Hart already joining in. Yeah, Rachel, sorry. I fixed my mic. Yeah, it wasn't a mic issue. I guess the audio from this service that I use to stream the Bryce Boudreaux show, all my audio levels were turned down for some strange reason. Headed to Pascagoula this weekend, Eminence Combat Championships this Saturday night in Pascagoula, that little town in Pascagoula where the squirrel went berserk in the first self-righteous church. If you don't know that song, look it up. Ray Stevens, what was the song called? Was the song called The Squirrel Went Berserk? Says something's got a hold on me. The day the squirrel went berserk in the first self-righteous church. Little town of Pascagoula. You know, you know the lyrics. Ray Stevens, legend. Well, I'm headed back to Pascagoula. Last time I was there, I was with Southern Hand Slugfest. Shout out to Ricky Derwin and Hannah Derwin, the Derwins. I used to announce there all the time. Now I'm making my return with a different promotion. I always loved going to Pascagoula. And I'll tell you why. There's really not a whole lot there to do. Pascagoula is a town where it's just, if you live there, you're working there, and that's about it. But here's the deal with Pascagoula. The reason why I like to go down there is because along the way, on that exit, they have one of the best barbecue restaurants, or the best barbecue restaurant in Mississippi, which is the Shed. And the Shed's just like this incredible property. Brad Orson, owner, got to meet Brad years ago at a Gulf Coast MMA show. Brad Orson's a fight fan, and I go see the Shed and go enjoy some ribs and barbecue at the Shed and some blues. There's always a guy there playing the guitar, and he's got like a recording. He's got like a speaker, and it's like playing like just karaoke of songs, and he's just playing the guitar. The barbecue's good. A Mississippi sweet barbecue. I'm not really a fan of sweet barbecue. I like my barbecue with pepper and salt and a little bit of garlic powder. I'm more of a Texas barbecue guy. But I'm gonna go and last time I went there, I got the ribs, and that was like all I got. This time, I think I'm gonna go all brisket and maybe chicken wings. So we'll find out. We're going heavy on the carnivore diet, so all meat. We're doing all meat at the Shed, either Saturday or Sunday. I haven't made my decision if I'm gonna go before the show or after the show. And then also in Pascagoula, there is a Crystal Burger, and I don't really have those in Louisiana anymore. I know a lot of people don't like Crystal Burger, but they got one there. It's right by the Jackson County Fairgrounds, so I might have to hit one up. Yeah, you got to be careful with Crystal Burger. I got a good Crystal Burger story. Years ago, it was during COVID, whenever Mississippi was doing shows and Louisiana wasn't, and so I went to Mississippi with Wes Warren, Braxton Hunter, and T-Boy Robichaux and or Toby Robichaux, and we all loaded up in a car and went up to somewhere up in uh, uh, Mississippi. And yeah, I remember after the show, we all stopped off at a Crystal Burger somewhere somewhere in the middle of Mississippi. And I remember we stopped off at this Crystal Burger. It was like 2 a.m, and I remember we each got us this, like, at a Crystal Burger you pay like $12 and you get like a suitcase. I call it a suitcase. It's like a dozen cheeseburger sliders, and that's like all you need. That and something to drink, and you're good. And you got enough. And T-Boy Robichaux orders his sliders, but instead of just cheese and pickles and slivered onions, he gets cheese, pickles, slivered onions, add mayo, add bacon to his cheeseburger sliders, not thinking anything. And the total was literally 3 times as much as a regular. They added $3 per slider. So you're looking at least $38 versus like $12. And he was like, "Are these prize winning pigs? Like, what is the deal with this bacon? Does it cure cancer?" And they're like, "No, honey, it's an extra charge for bacon." And that's whenever I learned never order bacon at a Crystal Burger because they charge the hell out of you for that stuff. Bacon doesn't grow on trees at Crystal Burger. Anyways, I guess that's my trashy southern side of me. I love Crystal Burger. I mean, dude, come on. At 2 in the morning, especially if you've been partying all night or whatever, and there's the only thing that's open is Crystal Burger. Come on, dude. There's nothing better than that. I know a lot of people don't like it. I remember I told somebody in Mississippi, um, uh, I said, I love Crystal Burger. They're like, oh my God, what is wrong with you? And I'm like, it's great. I mean, I don't see the issue with it. I mean, anyways, all that to say that I'm headed back to Pascagoula. Here we go. Where's that graphic at? There it is. Headed back to Pascagoula this Saturday. Eminence Combat Championship 18, live from Jackson County Fairgrounds Civic Center in Pascagoula, with the squirrel went berserk at the First Self-Righteous Church. Big shout out to Jimmy Mills for bringing me in and letting me fill in for Lance Chandler Green. He had some prior obligations. Great announcer. Lance used to announce for several really good promotions, and he still does, and he's one of the best in the South. And much love to Lance Chandler Green. Shout out to everybody tuning in. We got some comments. Tyler Falk, what did you think of RFC 2 cards so far? And you're going to be announcing that one too. Great question, Tyler Falk, and I have an answer for you. Yes, I will be the voice of RFC 2, and my God, if they aren't careful, they're going to have to move this thing into the Cajun Dome. I mean, you've got Aaron Phillips on the card. What? Hunter Smith is fighting for RFC? And who else? Is it Vance Shaw that I saw as well? I mean, if they're not careful, they're going to have to move this thing into the Cajun Dome, the actual Coliseum. I mean, it's going to be freaking insane. I love the color scheme, the pink and, that neon stuff. I like that, Even though we are in UL territory, it seems like every event that I've been a part of in Lafayette, everybody wants to go for the color scheme of red. Got to have red for UL. But hey, man, I like it. I like it. It's summertime. Graphics look great. The RFC graphic department knows what they're doing. So Tyler, that is a great question. I will be the announcer, and I got to say the card is looking stacked already. You can sell out the building just with these 3 fights announced. So we'll see what the hell happens next. Great question. Great question from Tyler Falk. Thanks for tuning in, Tyler, and I appreciate the comment. Excuse me. Anyways, Rachel Hart. Who you got on Chandler and Patty fight? Here we go. Chandler and Patty fight. That's a great question. My heart says, who am I kidding? Chandler. Give me Chandler. I mean, I think everybody wants Patty Pimblett. I just like to eat. Oh, just like to eat. I tell you what, man. Yeah, I think if Patty loses, he's gonna retire, go with Molly, because Molly, Meatball Molly, that's like his best friend. Their post fight interviews are always great. Whenever Patty was just gnawing down on a sandwich, and Molly just like jumps in and takes a big bite, and then Molly's like, "Oh, he's the best. He's the greatest fighter, And Patty Pim was like, "I just like to eat. I just like to eat, mate." And yeah, that's my Patty Pimblett and Meatball Molly. Definitely 2 of the most characteristic talents that the UFC has had in a while. I think I think it'll be a good one. Give me Chandler. Great question, Rachel Hart. Yeah, so fun stuff all around. Pascagoula this Saturday. And I'll talk more about my schedule here in a little while later on. What else is new? Oh, something that literally just happened today. I tuned in to my favorite Thursday podcast, which is Road Trip After Hours with Mac Davis and Teddy Long, Hall of Famer, Teddy Long, WWE Hall of Famer. And they showed the clip of me last week revealing my Road Trip After Hours T-shirt I was wearing. And they were like, "Oh, Bryce wearing his T-shirt," and then also the video of me talking about how Teddy Long was the announcer at WrestleMania 23 for one match. It was Batista versus The Undertaker for the World Championship. And Mac said, "Teddy, we got a surprise for you to prove to you that you definitely did," because Teddy doesn't remember this, that he was the announcer for it. And he played it, and Teddy still was like, "I'd have to watch the video. I mean, I'm hearing the audio, but I still don't believe like I announced that match." And Teddy still doesn't believe it. It's crazy. And then Teddy was putting two and two together. It's like, "Yeah, I think I remember that, but I wonder why I announced that." And he just can't seem to remember. That's a lot of WrestleMania. It's WrestleMania 23. I mean, heck, I barely remember what happened at last year's WrestleMania. So, anyways, yeah, but that was a big moment for Teddy Long, and he does not really understand why he did that, why he was the announcer for that match. You had great announcers there, and Teddy was the general manager. I guess in Vince's eyes, it made it more official. I don't know. I don't know. Speaking of WrestleMania, we're on the road to WrestleMania. What's the WrestleMania card looking like? I haven't even got there yet. Let's see. WrestleMania 41. Um, what's the WrestleMania card looking like? I know Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair for the women's champ. I don't know nothing about Tiffany Stratton. I have no idea. I don't know nothing. I've just seen this woman pop up on the screen. There she is. I've barely watched wrestling for the past like 3 years, so I just pay attention to what I see on social media. And so she's the champion. Okay, and they had a controversial segment the other night. Wow. Gunther and Jey Uso. That should be a really good match. I guess I'll give my predictions closer to WrestleMania. This triple threat between Roman Reigns, CM Punk, and Seth Rollins. There's a story with Paul Heyman. It's like, I got a favor, and he's got the favor, and he's going to be managing CM Punk. And Roman Reigns was crying the other night. Wild. Let me tell you what might be the best match of the entire. If it ain't Logan Paul and AJ Styles, let me tell you, I think Io Sky, Bianca Belair, and Rhea Ripley is going to shock the world. It's going to be a great match. I can't wait for that one. Of course, Cody Rhodes and John Cena, and I'll give you all my predictions on that here upcoming. God damn, they got a lot of matches for this WrestleMania. Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre, that was made official today. Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano, who is not Chad Gable. A heel. He's a heel is what he is. Nobody likes this dude. Hold on, we have a comment. Let me see if I can pop that up here. Yeah, Tyler Falk. I'm sorry, Tyler. Ray versus El Americano too. Yeah, that's what I was actually getting into. The El Americano. I love what they're doing with the guy with the dude because he's a heel. It's a heel. And it's clearly Chad Gable. It's going to be Chad Gable. That's going to be the big reveal. Of course, we knew it the whole time, but to me, there's something else going on here. But he's a heel, and yeah, that's why. I mean, people are getting upset. Like, he kept me for the Gulf of America. And I'm like, that's the point. He's a heel. What a way to pour salt on that wound, Yeah, he's a heel. That's what he does. Braun Breaker is the Intercontinental Champion versus Penta versus Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio. You know what? The multi-man matches, that's to me, that needs to make the comeback at WrestleMania. I think the only thing this WrestleMania is missing is a ladder match. That should have been a ladder match. Ladder matches at WrestleMania just they need to happen every year. I'm sorry. But WrestleMania 32, whenever it opened up and it was a ladder match to kick off the show, or WrestleMania 24, the previous WrestleManias, or Money in the Bank kicked off the entire show, that was amazing. And yeah, I think that should have been a ladder match. Jade Cargill and Naomi, there's some beef going on social media. Liv Morgan and Raquel Gonzalez in a gauntlet match for the women's tag team championships. Where are the actual tag team championships? The men's tag team championships. Why aren't they being defended on this show? I don't get it. LA Knight and Jacob Fatu. Wow. Interesting. This is like a PWG match for the United States Championship. Interesting. Well, WrestleMania is stacking up, you know. It's looking great. It's sadly nobody wants to freaking go to Las Vegas. It's so expensive. That's why I'm not going. I was like, yeah, I'll go to Vegas. And I'm like, look, I, I mean, as an announcer, I make, I mean, I, look, I don't want to get into talking about money here, but it's just like, dude, come on, think about the common man, which the common man isn't going to care and is going to pay as much money as possible to get into that son of a bitch, to get into Allegiant Stadium and to be a part of all the WrestleMania stuff. I remember standing in line to get into WrestleMania 30, and there was a couple that was like, "Look, we'll just miss our payment on our mortgage, but it's okay. We'll get the money eventually." Like they were talking about like not paying their bills in order to make it to WrestleMania. That's freaking insane. But some people live by this shit. So there you go. Yeah, WrestleMania is so damn expensive. I'm just gonna watch it from my TV. You know, I'm not going to Vegas and all those WrestleMania week shows. Now I'm gonna wait till next year whenever it comes to New Orleans and I'll be all over it. But yeah, I'm good. Going to Vegas, oof. And it's sad ticket sales are doing not good, you know, apparently. So anyway, who's all here? I don't know why I just went silent for a second. I was just thinking about how much damn money and how many tickets they've been selling. And like even like the little small shows, not the little small shows, but like the WrestleMania week shows that they're doing, even those, it's like they nobody's going. Like the ticket sales are doing horrible. There was like a show and it's like they got 2,000 seat capacity in this building. They've only sold 200 tickets. And WrestleMania week is when? Like right around the corner. So uh, Hall of Fame. WWE Hall of Fame. I wanted to talk about this because I think our Hall of Fame class is full for this year. Our inductees for this year. Let's see. Triple H will headline the class along with Michelle McCool, Lex Luger, The Natural Disasters, Earthquake, and Typhoon. Yes. And then for the first time, they're going to be inducting a match into the Hall of Fame. Um, Bret Hart and Stone Cold, no disqualifications, with Kim Shamrock as the special guest referee from WrestleMania 13. I love the fact that they're inducting a match into the Hall of Fame, and I'll tell you why. Because I love the fact how UFC does that, where they induct a fight into the Hall of Fame because it's such a memorable fight. You know, I think that's awesome. Immortal moment. That makes sense. It's a match that's going to live forever. Um, yeah, great. Uh, so, anyways, I think Ken Shamrock will be there, and we'll see who actually like inducts the match or how this is going to happen. So, very interested. Legacy, they're bringing back the Legacy class. I have mixed feelings on the Legacy class. Kamala, Dory Funk Sr., and Ivan Koloff. Um, why couldn't you just uh why couldn't you have just inducted them into the actual Hall of Fame as members and have their family accept the induction. I guess I never understood that legacy thing. And I remember there was a few WrestleManias where like the night before WrestleMania, they announced like 20 different legacy inductees. And I I thought originally that legacy, if you were a legacy inductee, then that meant you never worked for the WWE. You were just inducted. And clearly that's not the case. Clearly it's just like, well, here they are. I guess I don't know. I mean, Dory Funk Sr., absolutely. Kamala should be in the WWE Hall of. So if you're a legacy inductee, are you a Hall of Famer? I mean, I don't understand it. I never quite understood the legacy induction thing. Ivan Koloff, the Russian Bear. By the way, fun fact, the first ever casket match in the history of professional wrestling was Ivan Koloff versus the American Dream Dusty Rhodes. Anyways, so that's the class. And I love the fact that they are shrinking the classes, meaning you can't induct literally everybody in 1 year. You have to smooth it out. And honestly, I think this is a perfect class. I mean, yeah, so it's going to make a good event. I love the fact that they're bringing things back to a theater like it used to be, like it should be, instead of in an arena, in a ring right after SmackDown and fans heckling the entire time. I still think Chris Jericho has the greatest standpoint and greatest viewpoint of a Hall of Fame ceremony. If you're a fan and you just keep chanting shit throughout the entire someone's speech, their entire career, and they have this moment, and you're chanting, "What?" and boring and whatever. Like Chris Jericho was like, if you chant that and I get inducted, I will go in the crowd and slap the shit out of you. Like, I agree 100%. I mean, man. So they've moved things. They're going to move things to the Fountain Blue, to the theater. We're bringing the Hall of Fame ceremony back to the theater as a separate event. It won't be after SmackDown like it's been these past few years in a ring, which I was stupid. I never quite understood that one. Anyways, so that's the Hall of Fame. What's your opinion on the Hall of Fame? Do you agree with this class, and who would you like to see in the Hall of Fame? The big, inductee that they're saying that they missed was Batista. I think Batista will just be saved for another year, and they'll induct Batista. Who else do I think that needs to be in the WWE Hall of Fame? I think last year they missed the boat with Tommy Dreamer. I think Tommy Dreamer should have been in the Hall of Fame last year. And I think that would have been a great time to also induct some more ECW stars. So anyways, yeah, so that's the Hall of Fame, and that's what I wanted to talk about. Anyways, so that's what we've got. Anyways, thanks to everybody tuning in tonight. It's a great night to be alive here on the Bryce Boudreaux Show. And that's that. That's all that needs to be said. Let's get back to it, folks. We got a lot to talk about still. What was I going to talk about? Oh, yes. Speaking of the WWE, there's some controversy being built up from this past week on Monday Night Raw. Raw's on Netflix, as most of you know, and a part of WrestleMania weekend, they're going to Rachel Hart. Okay. Rachel Hart agrees with the class. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I mean it's good. It's a good class. I'm shocked that Triple H is in here. Now, I'll be honest. I'll also say this. I think Michelle McCool could have waited. I think there's a lot more people that they could have put in before Michelle McCool. I think that also has to do in part with the show LFG and The Undertaker, and just making it more like, hey, Michelle McCool's a coach on LFG, make her a Hall of Famer, so it gives more credibility. Not to say she hadn't had a Hall of Fame career, because she definitely did, but I think there's more wrestlers like that should have been inducted before her. I mean, if Jazz isn't in the WWE Hall of Fame, then I don't know what the hell we're waiting on here. It's completely ridiculous. So that's always been my thing about women getting inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. Like, why has Jazz not been inducted yet? And I'll go off on a whole nother rant with that. So let's talk about it. WrestleMania weekend, they're going to have the WWE roast or the roast of WrestleMania. And this past week on Raw on Netflix, they had Tony Hinchcliffe, host and creator of Kill Tony, on commentary. And Tony's going to be hosting this roast of WrestleMania along with whoever's going to be there. But he joined the commentary table. Weird. Hearing all kinds of noises back there. Joined the commentary table along with some of the I don't know, Pat McAfee, which is a friend of his, a really good friend of his, and Michael Cole. And the reception has not been great. People have been pissed. I mean, he said some things. I mean, you got to understand he's a roast comic, and he said some things that people don't agree with. And I think we're pushing the line a little bit. And the big thing that's really the big talking point was Biggie and the neck injury. And I think Biggie left a really classy statement, just kind of like, I had no say so over it. I didn't know this was going to happen. Am I hurt? Yeah, but what am I going to do about it? Yeah, but people are taking this crazy. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that Tony's history, as you know, the whole thing whenever, the cancellation from the Asian comedian that happened years ago during COVID, which whatever happened there, and then of course what happened at Madison Square Garden whenever Tony made the controversial joke about Puerto Rico, and that's whenever a lot of people were like, "Screw this guy, he's a talentless hack" or whatever. But I think a lot of people with this whole Tony Hinchcliffe thing and him, I think a lot of people, as soon as they saw him, they were like, "Oh, get this guy off the TV," and people thought with their hearts rather than just being entertained. But also, I think I don't think that roast comedy is something that you need to be like the right headspace to enjoy. Because not everybody likes that. And not everybody likes comedy, Not everybody likes comedy. And I think now they realize this wasn't the right move. And also what you have to realize, it's not like Triple H was like, and we're gonna put Tony right there next to Michael Cole. Yeah, let's get Tony over here. Let's put Tony next to Michael Cole. I don't think Triple H was there doing that. It was more of Netflix because Kill Tony's now on Netflix. Just opened up on Netflix on Monday. So it made sense. Monday, Kill Tony's on Monday. Kill Tony's now on Netflix. So let's put Tony on there. Hey, by the way, Tony's hosting WrestleMania, Roast of WrestleMania. It just makes sense. I've been seeing a lot of cross-promotional stuff with Netflix and the WWE, such as there was was it Liv Morgan or somebody had the ticker thing on their head from Black Mirror, and they're doing a lot of cross promotional stuff with the WWE. I dig it. But back to roast comedy being a part of the WWE, you can't force roast comedy on people. That's something that's like an acquired taste. And like I said, a lot of people like comedy. They want to laugh, but they don't laugh at people telling jokes. They'd rather laugh at funny videos and stuff, so people have different perceptions of comedy. The thing fell flat. I mean, look, I'm a Kill Tony fan. It's no secret. If you follow me, I've went to the last 2 New Year's Eve shows at the HEB Arena in Austin, Texas. I've gone out of my way to go see members I've gone to Austin to watch comedy because of Kill Tony. I've freaking announced Uncle Laser's first and only wrestling match. Cam Patterson signed my wallet. I can go on and on about how much I am a fan of it. Was I entertained? Yeah. But then again, I know a lot of people weren't. So like I said, I think roast comedy is just a thing you got to want to see. And a lot of people didn't want to see that, or hear that, but I think also a lot of people were just thinking with their hearts and they were just like, boo this man. We don't like this guy because of his past. I'll also say this whenever it comes to roast comedy and professional wrestling. A lot of people might remember this, but I think it was last year, the year before. It was 2 years ago where Ric Flair was a guest on Kill Tony, and Ric Flair had a couple cocktails. He was drinking a little bit, and I think that brought out an emotional side of Rick. And by the way, with Rick, there was some of the like most controversial dirty comedians, Ari Shaffir and Mark Normand, and I forget who else was there. And they were just saying a bunch of controversial stuff, and Rick just was not enjoying himself. He was like, I don't like all this. And he eventually was just like, I'm leaving. Like, I'm not gonna make fun of somebody that does what they love. He didn't get it. And you can even go back to whenever you shoot and kayfabe commentaries did the roast of the Iron Sheik. Years ago, they did the roast of the Iron Sheik, and it was like a pay-per-view thing, and they put it on DVD, and they had all these comedians come up and like roast the wrestlers, right? And the fans thought it was funny because they were ready for the roast, and the wrestlers were just kind of like, yeah, okay. But then there was a comedian that went up there and made a joke about Owen Hart. And it was something stupid, and it wasn't a laugh, like a it was like a ooh. And a drunk and inebriated Scott Hall was in the crowd and took offense to it and basically charged the stage and almost beat the hell out of the comedian. I forget the comedian's name, but he was from like Howard Stern or something. Even whenever Conrad Thompson did the roast of Bruce Pritchard years ago, there was comedians on there telling jokes that just kind of were like, it's just okay, you know. So I don't know. I like roast comedy. I think the roast of Tom Brady was one of the greatest freaking things. Absolutely. But we'll see what happens with this roast of WrestleMania. I think it's going to be great. So we'll see what happens. But that's my opinion on the whole thing. What's your opinion on Tony Hinchcliffe and his appearance on Raw this past week? Let me know in the comments. Let's see. Oh, whoa. Mr. Peter Chantafon. He says, bro. I miss you, bud. I miss you too, dude. It's been a minute, cuz. It's been a minute, dude. Yeah, brother. It sure has, man. Remember that time we went up? Who the hell is this? Very cool. Nice. We got a comment from YouTube. This is very shout out to everyone in the chat, including Bryce Boudreaux. Keep up the good work on the channel. Appreciate it. And shout out from South Bronx, brother. BKL Contreras, aka Sport Entertainment Guy. Well, shout out, brother BKL Contreras. Definitely appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Yo, what a great nice sweetheart of a comment. Thank you, brother. Thank you very much. Yeah, man. Too long, T bruh. Too long, T bruh. I don't even know what the yeah, too long. We haven't seen each other in so long. Yeah, I remember that time we went to the diner, and I was actually talking about McCoy earlier, T-Boy Robichaux, and his little monoloith, his glasses that broke in half, and he was using them just one glass, and we were like, "Do not pass go," like the Monopoly man. That was some fun stuff. Yeah, bro, miss you too. I was actually at the 225 show. I went before the show started in Homa and just kind of said hi to everybody. I was on my way to New Orleans. I'm like, I'm gonna stop by, say what's up, surprise everybody. Anyway, shout out everybody tuning in. Thank y'all so much. It's a great night tonight on the Bryce Boudreaux Show as we are about to approach the 11 o'clock hour. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Shout out everybody that's tuning in. Definitely appreciate you. What else was I going to talk about? Oh my God. Did anybody watch Big Night At the Pat McAfee Big Night At that I think was Tuesday night, or was it last night in Pittsburgh at PPG Paints Arena? Oh my freaking God. Dude, this was insane. Pat McAfee sold out an arena, just like Tony Hinchcliffe does. People calling him a hack comedian. I mean, the guy sells out arenas. Pat McAfee sells out a freaking arena all just to get money donated to whatever charities and make people win money. It's freaking awesome. It was an entertaining night. Jelly Roll was there, and many others. O's the Mentalist, which did a crazy mental thing, and you could do it on your calculator, and it was wild. And then out of nowhere, he's like, "We're gonna have a sumo wrestling match." And the whole time, he's like giving money away to the crowd. He's like, got like this plinko board, and they would drop a puck, and like it would be this section and this row and this seat wins however much money. We're talking about like $100,000, like a lot of money. He's changing lives last night. And he brought out these sumo wrestlers, these grand sumo wrestlers from All Star Sumo. Shout out. They got an event this weekend in Hot Springs, Arkansas, bringing sumo wrestling back to America. I love sumo wrestling. I love the art and everything about it. And I think it's something that needs to be a lot more, mainstream here in America. So he had like a sumo wrestling match, and like he had a Boston Connor and that other guy from the Pat McAfee show as the commentators. Then he had Michael Cole as a special guest commentator. Michael Cole was drunk. It went viral. And he had Alicia Taylor from WWE announce the match. And then he had Shane Gillis as the special guest referee, which was amazing. Shane Gillis, someone else that got famous from Kill Tony. Yeah, Shane was on there, and it was hilarious because like he's like trying to talk to the sumos as they're about to wrestle, and he's like, "You guys want to grab a beer after this?" And they have no clue what he's saying. But like, if you don't know anything about sumo wrestling, the sport is very like traditional and respect oriented, and a sumo wrestling bout begins. The two sumos like face off like they're about to start, and they're like, easy does it. Not this time, but next time I'll get you. And they go to their respective corners, and they throw the salt, and they do a little prayer, and they get back to it, and they're ready to go, and they go, up, not this time, not this time. So it was just the anticipation. You could hear the commentary and everybody in the arena, and like Shane Gillis, like, I think they're ready this time. Oh, not that time. So it was a lot of fun. The guy, Ichi, he won. It was really, really good, really entertaining. I was laughing hysterically watching this. It was freaking awesome. Peter, I'm gonna crash. Have a good one, bro. Yeah, man, you too. Don't crash too hard. And careful. Wear your seatbelt. And Shane Gillis does a really good Trump impression, Tyler Folks says. He definitely does. And a lot of a lot of a lot of comedians that I've heard of like try to mock his impersonation. Fun fact about impersonations, which I've found out, a lot of people don't do an impersonation. They do an impersonation of someone doing an impersonation. So it's really hard to kind of, make your impersonation of somebody. A lot of people just steal someone else's impersonation. A lot of people do that with his Trump. Brother BKL Contreras. That show by Pat McAfee in Pittsburgh is incredible, and that show is magical. Plus, the event was best until I watched the traditional sumo match. So I really like the show. Give credit to Pat. Dude, exactly. Brother BKL Contreras. The sumo match is what I was talking about. It was freaking awesome. And shout out to All Star Sumo. I was actually talking with, may or may not have been talking to the crew with All Star Sumo last night. And they've got the show coming up in Hot Springs, and they'll be touring across the country. And, So I'm a huge fan of sumo wrestling. The sport is awesome. I freaking love it. If there was a sumo, I mean, because there's plenty of different weight classes for sumo, and you can be a welterweight MMA fighter and be a sumo wrestler if you wanted to, or a lightweight, be a cruiserweight fighter and fight sumo, wrestle sumo. So I've even thought about maybe stepping my toe in there, but you got to be super strong to do it. And it's all about catching your opponent off guard and pushing them out of that ring, So it's all about the spectacle too, with the sumo bouts, As soon as they take off that robe and you see just a mass of a human being, and like the crowd goes, "Oh," the whole crowd like reacts, "Whoa," So I think that's also the spectacle of sumo wrestling. But could this be the spark that sumo wrestling needs? Could it come back? We'll see what happens. Anyway, speaking of sumo wrestling and everything going on in the world, AI. I dabbled with this stupid. Okay, maybe the graphic didn't go up, and it totally didn't. Never mind. Screw all that. I just wanted to say everybody's having fun posting their ChatGPT action figures. Okay, I tried to make one, and it spit out the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. And I'm like, this is not even me, dude. It's not even me. And it's not even what the hell I wanted. So I don't know how everybody's doing this, but I mean, they're doing it, and they're doing it better than I am. So whatever. Yeah, so fun stuff all around as we are nearing possibly the end of the show right here. This is 11 o'clock hour starting. I'm bringing the Nintendo Wii back. I've come to the conclusion that I'm going to bring it back. I recently discovered my Nintendo Wii and I started playing Mario Party 8 on it. Just saying, I didn't realize how good I was at Mario Party 8, but I'm pretty freaking good. And I'm so good that I'm beating the hell out of all these characters on expert hard mode, 50 turns, you know. Uh, so yeah, really going off. I don't know if you know anything about Mario Party 8, but I'm doing pretty good at it. So yeah, shout out. I'm bringing back the Nintendo Wii. I went and I got an HDMI converter for my Nintendo Wii so I can play the Nintendo in high definition. So we'll see what happens there. Yeah, that's that. Oh, I've been getting into trading cards. I'll talk more about that on a later day, but my good brother Tony Snow was like, "Hey, you need to." I started buying. I'm a big LSU fan, big Saints fan, big Astros fan, so I just started buying Saints and LSU cards from my brother Tony Snow, and he's like, this is what you need to do. You need to go and start buying cards from people. And so I did. And I may or may not have bought like 1,000 different LSU cards. So I'm going to have boxes of these cards coming to my house and I don't know what to do with them. I just got bored. Anyways, let's take a look at the month and let's see where I'm headed this month. So let's see. Yeah. April 25th. I'm headed to Houston, big fight weekend in Houston. Lots of jiu-jitsu, big jiu-jitsu tournament, world tournament on Saturday, but on Friday night, head to downtown Houston for CSG Houston Open. Good brother Tom Galdinzi bringing me in, and there's going to be some cash brackets, some 3-on-3 action, all grappling super fights happening at CSG in downtown Houston. It's at a brewery, Bad Astronaut Brewery. So going to be cool. Bad Astronaut. I guess we're talking about the Astros. Check it out. I'm wearing my 8th Wonder Brewery shirt. That's Astros. See the Astrodome? See the Astrodome? Yeah, buddy. Yeah, dude. Oh yeah. Anyways, next for me, that weekend, I head up to Spring as I make my debut on Flow Grappling, baby, the #1 grappling pay-per-view provider in the world. Flow Grappling. And Elevate Submission Series live on Flow Grappling for the very first time. It's going to be freaking awesome. Crossing this one off the bucket list. And I got my face cards in from the printers, and they are looking freaking awesome. I can't wait to show everybody the final product there. So it's going to be a great weekend. Can't go any further without mentioning this weekend. This Saturday night, I'm headed back to Pascagoula, Mississippi. Pascagoula with a scroll and berserk in the first self-righteous church. Yes, yes, yes. Pascagoula, Eminence Combat Championship 18. Oh, I had to get a sippy sip. Yeah, Eminence Combat Championship 18. Going to be a lot of fun. Big shout out to Jimmy Mills for hitting me up, bringing me in there. And shout out to brother Lance Chandler Green, great announcer, the regular announcer over there. Like I said, I'm just filling in. So yeah, good stuff. Anyways, folks, it is getting late. I'm yawning, and this is not a good sign. Anyways, so I guess it's time to wrap up the show. If you haven't done it yet, follow me everywhere on social media. Bryce Boudreaux Show all over the place. And don't forget, if you're looking to get a new book, enhance your reading collection, go hit up my brother Vinny Berry at Wrestleville.com, where wrestling lives. Insert promo code SPRING for 20% off and get your hands on a copy of one of his great books, whether it be Lance by Chance, the story of the forgotten Von Erich, Lance Von Erich, Wrestleville Volume 1 or Wrestleville Volume 2, that's where wrestling lives, or the story of Black Bart, your favorite wrestler's favorite wrestler. By the way, I'm in one of those books. That's right, Wrestleville Volume 2, where wrestling lives. You'll see a young, handsome Bryce Boudreaux in his suit whenever he was chasing the independent wrestling scene back in the Gap. I have a whole chapter dedicated to me. My life, my story is in there. Once again, that's promo code SPRING for 20% off. Wrestleville.com. Wrestleville.com. It's where wrestling lives. Shout out to good brother Vinny Berry. He's been a great friend of the show for many years. And yeah, he's a great author. Absolutely. Well, folks, that's going to do it. Shout out to everybody that tuned in tonight. Shout out, brother BKL Contreras. Thank you so much for tuning in. Love it, brother. Thank you for tuning in, man. Means a ton. Shout out everybody that tuned in. Rachel Hart, Tyler Falk, Peter Chantafona, and many others. If I didn't mention your name, you didn't drop a comment. I only shout out people that drop comments. So nothing personal. Anyways, so folks, it's going to be it. I guess I'll be back here next week talking about Eminence, Fight Promotions, and yeah, going to be good. Can't wait, brother. All righty, that's going to be it for me. Calling it early tonight. Salut, and have a great night. What do I always say? Oh, yeah. This has been the Bryce Boudreaux Show because my name is Bryce Boudreaux, and this is my show. This is the Bryce Boudreaux Show. Good night, everybody.